Hi everybody, Bridget here. So I wanted to do a different kind of video for a change. I know I say that basically every single video, um, but if you are a returning viewer, or maybe you just saw like the Minecraft Forever World theme that I did a little bit ago, I think it was like a month maybe, I kind of talked about how I didn't really see myself returning to YouTube for a good minute, because I wanted to finish my voice training first. And while it's still true to an extent, I've been enjoying YouTube, just making things a lot more recently. And I'm kind of having more fun just not restricting myself to any one topic or anything like that. Like, before, pretty much all my content across the board was just Tower Unite content. And like, I absolutely love Tower Unite. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing, amazing game. But I don't want to lock myself down like that, especially when I'm not even like a big channel. Like, I may have like 15 returning viewers when I check my YouTube statistics, you know? So like, why should I set standards for myself to like only get to make these videos, or like I shouldn't be allowed to do this or that with my channel, you know? So I figured I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit, I guess. And I actually wanted to make the topic of this video about procrastination and putting things off. This video is mainly going to be targeted at like a more trans audience, although it could absolutely apply to anybody. I feel like a lot of this advice, even though I will be using more analogies related to just the trans experience, can absolutely just be applied to other things. So without further ado, I guess I'll kind of get into it now. So I think a decent starting point would probably be thinking about how your future self is going to have things done already at some point in the future. You have no idea when, no plans are made or anything, but you feel like your future self will have whatever this seemingly impossible feeling goal done. And saying that is a very easy way to kind of cope with a lot of issues going on. Depending on the issue, it might really only be something that time can help. Like in regards to my appearance, for example, I'll throw up like an image on screen of me like 2 or 3 years ago. Don't get me wrong, I have put a lot of effort into changing my style and like trying to be prettier and more effeminate since transitioning, and I'm just a little bit over a year now, like 375 days or so, I believe, on actual hormone therapy, I should know. But to a certain degree, there's only really so much you can do with certain aspects. Like, hormones have helped me a lot. You know, stopped male pattern baldness from happening in the first place, which I was prone to. Has helped my hair. My face has become like more filled in, less acne. I don't hate myself, you know, pretty big stuff, I feel like. But other things like voice training, for example, especially more so if you're going from male to female, like I am. And I'll get back on why it's different for female to male in a second. Especially for female to male, or male, fuck me. Especially for male to female, it's very important to start just as soon as you can, because that is not something that hormone therapy is going to change whatsoever. It's kind of something that a lot of people don't really think about, that just voice training. But yeah, voice training, if you're going from male to female, it doesn't change anything at all. People going from female to male might have a little bit of a difference because testosterone just kind of makes things larger. So whatever the hell is going on in their throat over here is just going to make it bigger, thus making their sound more like boomy and like, you know, deeper. Just sounds you associate more so with a male speaker. Or somebody who just presents more masculine. But estrogen does not do that. It doesn't shrink what has already been, you know, made bitter by testosterone. At least in that compartment, you know, stuff like muscles, like, you know, that definitely shrunk for me. But that's a totally different note. The main thing I want to talk about is voice training, because estrogen is not going to change your voice whatsoever. That is something that, if you're like me, or even if you're just someone who wants to have a more effeminate voice, whether you be like a cis female, or maybe you're like a femboy or something like that, and you want to have like a more feminine presentation, or, you know, just whatever. I mean, you can have any valid reason to want to have a more feminine voice, even if you know, just are a more masculine speaker. I'll actually throw up a clip of a video that I made like 3 years ago, real quick.
So then I said, a blueberry walks into a bar.
Now that the clip is over, you can definitely hear, like, how much has changed in that time. And although at that time I didn't know I was trans, I had suspicions, but I didn't know I was trans yet. Regardless, I still just wanted a more feminine voice, because I felt like the voice that I had during that time period just did not fit me at all, and I didn't like it. So yeah, I mean, you can do it for any reason really, but what I was meaning to get at is stop telling yourself that future you will get it done at some point, because that is just such a easy thing to tell yourself and then to never end up doing it. And it's something that I want to preach about, because it's something I did for months and months and months before actually starting anything, because it's so easy to just feel like it's such a impossibly difficult task to accomplish. And to a degree it can be. I'm not gonna say it was easy for me. I mean, I still am voice training. I have a very long way I want to go, especially on pitch. You know, I want to be louder, I want to be more expressive, but I'm still in the middle of learning it. But, you know, even though I'm not done with it by any means, I need to get started. And, you know, if you're watching and you're in a similar predicament where you haven't really gotten to start voice training yet or anything like that, just try to start as soon as you can. Because telling yourself in the future that you're going to have it done at some point just is not helping at all. Even if it is a very, very difficult task, like, for the first 2.5 to 3 months-ish, I had breakdowns, like, almost every other session I would train. And this is, like, a daily thing you want to be working on, so, you know, not fun. But after a certain degree, you kind of just have to learn to soak up a lot more pain in a smaller period of time, so that way your longer, like, you know, future self will be happy, if that makes any sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely much... Okay, well, let me rephrase that. I'm doing better now that I'm at a certain point with my voice where it can still be a little bit more feminine, even if it's not where I want it to be yet. I especially struggle with multitasking and stuff if I'm doing anything but reading, and this is freestyle as well. I don't have like a script on my screen. But it's... I lost my train of thought, 1 second. I remembered. So, I can definitely say it's better for me now, having the ability to make somewhat of a feminine voice, even if it's not my end goal yet. But for a while, it honestly was just a lot more miserable than normal. With, you know, more breakdowns and just having to think about my voice more so, and, you know, that just was not fun for me. It was very much a very difficult, you know, couple months until I got to a better point, which I'm currently at, which I'm still working on, but, you know, it's better. But I would have had to tackle this issue at some point in my life. You know, like, the longer I wait, the more time is spent just experiencing really bad dysphoria over my voice. Or, you know, you could give it other examples. Like, if you want to get like a haircut, for example, you could use that, like you really want to get a haircut, but you're like too afraid to, or you don't have the motivation to like look at styles or something like that, you know? It can be very stressful to think about the actions of trying to get this task done. And in the short term, it's going to be a bit, honestly, kind of not fun to deal with. It may be miserable for a little bit. But the important thing is that in the end goal, you're not going to be dealing with any of that dysphoria anymore. You'll notice, like in the photo I showed earlier, I'll put up another one just now, just to kind of give another example. About like my hair, for example, that was something I dreaded fixing for such a long time, because putting in the effort to like find styles and like, you know, go talk to somebody and be like, hi, I'm trans, can you please give me a woman's cut? Anytime I ask for a feminine cut, they always give me like a super masculine cut regardless because they think I'm a guy. I'm trans, I want a woman's cut, please. And you know, that's a lot, it's very difficult to tell somebody something like that. But if you manage to find a salon near you, or like have like a friend that's good hair and they're an ally, it's definitely worth spending hours or however long you need to spend searching for an opportunity like that in your life. Because now in the long term, you know, even though for like 2-3-ish weeks, I want to say, when I was kind of searching for somewhere, it was kind of a miserable time for me because I was thinking more and more about how my hair was and like how much I did not like it. In the long run, I think I have pretty hair now. And although my shitty webcam doesn't really show you the complexity of it, just because the lighting is so bad on that thing, I hate it. The important part is the like long-term dysphoria about my hair is now gone. And you know, same for like the short term, even though it was a more stressful time for me trying to find a style that worked for me, that's now not an issue for me to even think about anymore. Like I wake up, I'm happy with this, it's awesome, I love it. And it's the same situation for like voice training. You know, even though I really don't like doing my daily practice, it kind of sucks. And, you know, it can absolutely be dysphoric, and I still do have breakdowns over it. In the long run, I'm going to be so much happier that I finally got rid of this issue. And like my hair, it's going to turn into a thing where it's just something I don't even consider anymore. Like my feminine voice is just going to be my voice. And you know, if you're watching this maybe like 2 years from now, hopefully I'll be done by then. You know, you can look back at this video and I'm gonna be saying the same things. It was worth it. It was worth trying to fight past the short-term depression and the lethargy and all the thoughts saying it's never going to happen, because eventually it's, you know, it happened. You know, like, if that makes any sense. I'm not going to be thinking so much about my voice anymore, and I would have had to stick out this awful period no matter what. So instead of just waiting for a good time to do it, like, you know, instead of like waiting for me to move out or waiting for me to have like better living conditions, something, you know, waiting for me to pass, I just kept on setting new and new goals for myself for when I would start voice training. Eventually, my partner Sylvia just convinced me to just start. Like, this is something you want to do. This is something you feel awful about. Just start, please. So that one day you aren't thinking, you know, in a year or so, this won't be an issue for me. Because you'll actively be working towards it, so it's no longer an issue, period. So, you know, you could apply that to a lot of things. Like, if you have like a dirty room, for example, or, you know, your Nigel is hoarding up your bed and you have to escort him off of it because he sucks. I actually really love him. He's a really good boy. You just have to go and do the thing. Like, I know it's a lot easier said than done. It's like going up to like a homeless person and being like, stop stop being homeless. Come on now. Stop it, you. But what I mean behind that is fight as hard as you can past, you know, all the dysphoria, or, you know, if it's maybe not trans and it's like something else, like let's say you are just a person who has a messy room and you want to clean it up, for example. Fight past all the lethargy and thoughts of like, wow, this is going to fucking suck, and just do it, you know? Even if it is only a building block a day, every day is going to build upon itself, and eventually you're going to get to the point where, you know, it might be like week 5, right? You get the final trash bag, take it outside, you look at like your floor, everything's clean. Like there's no dust on your surfaces, your carpet's clean. You feel good, you know? Like you're finally finished with that. And now you're no longer thinking like, you know, at some point I gotta clean my room, and you're not feeling bad about it anymore. You're not feeling like, wow, I'm so unproductive. Or, you know, my Nigel isn't hoarding my bed anymore, you know? I don't, like, oh, how am I gonna sleep now with this Nigel on my bed? I guess at some point I gotta remove it. You know what I mean? I love this cat, if you can't tell. But it's really just about taking initiative and getting it done despite it being very difficult. And, you know, like I said earlier, it's a lot easier said than done to do. And it's definitely not a fun thing to be tackling really difficult issues in your life like this. And when you do have like breakdowns, or the lethargy is so crippling where you're just stuck to the bed for hours because of these things, it can be really difficult to get the motivation to get yourself up and start improving on things. But that's why it's so important that you do it in the first place, because the cycle of depression is just so vicious because of the fact that when you get depressed, you want to do things less. And when you do less things, you feel more shameful. You know, life feels more incomplete. You feel less productive. And when you feel bad about yourself, you become more depressed. And it just keeps on feeding into itself over and over and over. And it's awful. I've been there for a while. You know, still kind of am. But, you know, have somebody like hold you accountable to it. Like if you have like any friends you can talk to, like, hey, can you check up on me every day, or every once a week, or every 2 weeks, how I'm doing with like X activity? You know, you can have somebody do that. Or like if you have like family that you live with, or you have roommates that you're friendly enough with, you know, you can have somebody hold you accountable to these things so that you want to improve yourself for them and for you. And after a certain amount of time, it will get easier and easier as you take better care of yourself, because you'll feel more happy and won't have as many things to be like ashamed of. And when there's less issues, it's more easy to tackle things because it will seem less large. Like with the trash allegory, for example, let's say in my room there's like a table over there, there's my cat tree behind me, and there's my Nigel on the bed, right? If we say that's like a bunch of different issues, you could make it any issue in life, but we're just going to act like that's a million different issues. It's really overwhelming, and it's so overwhelming that it gets to the point where it's like, wow, I don't even know where to start. I feel so debilitated because I'm just trying to do so many things at once. Even though it's really fucking hard to get your foot in the door and to start doing these things, you just need to start doing it. Just begin doing one task, and eventually it'll be like, okay, now there's only 2 things I have to clean. So then you get, you know, your trash off the desk, for example. Or the cat tree behind me, like let's say it was really gross and has to go, for example. It's like, okay, I got the other 2 things done. It's not so stressful anymore because all I have to do is just tackle this last thing and then my problem's finished. And that's not to say, you know, your problems in life are ever going to just be finished. I mean, life wouldn't even be interesting if that was the case, because, you know, you can't have joy without inherent suffering to some extent, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, if every day was a good day, like, it becomes nullified. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. It's much more easy to be happy and like yourself more and just feel more productive in your life when you finally start tackling a lot of the issues like this. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say on that, I guess. I say that's all I gotta say and I have like a 20-minute video. That's pretty long. But this is just a video I've kind of been wanting to record for a while because honestly, it's something I need to hear, and I kind of wish I was told this earlier. To be honest, I probably was, and I probably ignored it. But regardless, you know, sometimes it's just nice hearing it from somebody that you can relate to, rather than just an uncaring piece of paper that's like this Taco Bell receipt right here, you know? Or receipt, fucking napkin, you know? Like, if I... Give me 1 second. Okay, right, so if I have like a little like thing like this, you know, my medical textbook or whatever, or I'm in like psychology, or I'm in health class in like high school, if that's applicable to you. I'm in college right now, so not anymore for me. But regardless, the point is, if I have something that's like this, and it's like just an uncaring cold textbook, and it's like, yo, depression does these things, this fucking sucks, you know, as Professor Nigel says, yo, depression sucks. It can be difficult to relate to it and feel the urgency to fix it, because it doesn't really feel like somebody's telling you anything. It just feels like you're reading out the symptoms to something on like Google when you look up like, do I have the cold? It's like, yeah, you know, like, I'm not good at analogies. You just gotta bear with me. But what I'm trying to say is, sometimes it's just nice to hear it from somebody that you can relate to, or someone who's been in your shoes before, or even still is. And I felt like my life experiences could possibly be useful. And I know I don't really have like a big fan base on my channel or anything like that. I have like 260 subscribers. That's not, you know, that's nothing. But if this video even reaches one person and changes like one person's life, this will have made it absolutely worth it. You know? It's difficult getting by in life in dealing with everything at once. And it can be really... It can become easy to just get so overwhelmed and let things get very out of hand. And let so many of these issues build up and whatnot. So I just kind of wanted to make a little video, and hopefully people can get use out of it. Hopefully it can be like a wake-up call for people to just start doing stuff, you know? So yeah, that's all I have to say on that part. The rest of this is just going to be me ranting about completely unrelated things that I just have kind of wanted to talk about for a little bit. So if you're only here for like the self-help part of the video, bye! If you're here for the full thing, hi! So yeah, getting into that part. Alright, so now you've reached the fun part of the video. This is just a lot of random little things I wanted to talk about for a while. I didn't want to make the intro even more bloated than it already was, because I'm very bad at doing intros. Maybe that's why my viewer retention is like 42 seconds. I'm just hoping one person watches the video fully. But right, even though my viewer retention is very poor, oh wait, no, that's not even where I was going. See, I have such... my mind just forgets what I'm saying like halfway into the sentence, and I have to procrastinate the rest. Or, no, not procrastinate, what's the word? Oh, fuck, what is it? It's like when people like make shit up as they go, you know what I'm saying. If I think of the word, I'll randomly blurt it out in the middle of my sentence, because that's usually what happens. Anyway, what I mean to say, I didn't address the face cam thing. I kind of just have wanted to start using my face cam more often. I've become a lot more comfortable with my body and just how I look. And although that isn't always the case, I'm feeling better as of recently about myself, and I kind of just want to show myself more. I initially considered doing like a milestone video, like if I were to reach, I don't know, 500 subscribers, I'm gonna do a special. But I kind of decided otherwise, like, I'm not really going for high view counts or like a lot of subscribers in my videos. I'm just kind of uploading for fun. Just, you know, why not, you know? So yeah, but the concept I did have for the 500 sub special, if anyone's even watching to this point, and is open to commenting, something I actually really wanted to do is, so I'm in college right now, right? And as my part-time job, I'm working at a Dunkin' coffee shop, and I wanted to compare my like local Dunkin's donuts that I work at to my local supermarket's donuts that they have in their like pastry section, because they have like a little homemade area, like instead of like the Krispy Kreme like pre-boxes, like it's like fresh made every day. And I wanted to compare the two and see if the supermarket's one is better, because I think that would be absolutely hilarious, because I hate this corporation. Cool co-workers though, very fruity place, I love it. I actually have a donut right here from the place. This is my favorite. It's the glazed chocolate. I really like it. It's very good. But yeah, no, that was just this was kind of some plans I had. I was thinking about doing, but I didn't really act on. As for the future of the channel, I do still want to make Tower Unite content. I still don't feel very comfortable with my voice yet, and like especially if you heard like my other two more recent videos, my voice has felt very like gravelly today. It's just not a good voice day for me. It happens, but regardless, I just wanted to record. You know, it sounds better than my like no effort voice, because if I wasn't putting effort into my voice, I would sound like this. And I don't want to sound like that. So, you know, it's better than that, but I still don't really want to fully return to the Tower Unite content scene until I have a voice I'm more comfortable with for like more important videos that I would actually want to get views, because I put more effort into the editing and whatnot. Whereas stuff like the creepypasta reading or the Forever World like log, that was really more so just me fucking around, just wanting to make something. And I do want to do more creepypasta readings, because that one was so freaking funny. But yeah, that's pretty much the situation on that. I don't really think I have much more I want to mention. I have this really cute trans bracelet that my coworker gave me. I really like it. I also painted my nails trans too, because I'm a F word. That's what I am, and I like doing this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. You know, if you like this video, feel free to like it. If you dislike this video, feel free to dislike it. I'd be surprised that you would watch until the very end if you actually dislike the video. Like I would not do that. Like if I wasn't liking the video, especially if it's just me talking, I would have jumped off at like the 48-second mark. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know how to end videos. I'm gonna show you some Nigel footage again, because I really love him. He's so stupid. You know, I actually have this Nigel pillow I want to show off to YouTube, because I've never used my face cam until now. So like only my friends really know about it, but give me 1 second. Okay, so the first thing is this Nigel pillow that my family gave me. some Christmas. I forgot which one it was. But yeah, it's a pillow of Nigel, and I like it. And then the second one, my partner Sylvia gave me this one. It's one of those like cursed pillows. It actually turned out not super portable. I mean, I don't know what this little thing is. I don't know what that little thing is, but the rest of the pillow actually turned out pretty well. Like in regards to like the really cursed cat pillow things. So that was very sweet of them to buy me. I still I'll be preparing in my mirror over there, over there, and I just happened to see it in the top of the closet, and like it calls out to me like the Green Goblin mask. It's like, Mom, take me, put me somewhere where people will see me, and I'm like, no, fuck you. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. Yeah, I think that's. I could show off my plushie collection, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. It's just the Eevees. I really love Eevees. They're so freaking cute. But yeah, with that aside, I am going to end the video. I'll probably see you guys probably for creepypasta reading next, assuming you're, still watching this and like you're an active viewer of my channel. So probably one of my friends. Hi Zinnia. Maybe if you're even watching this. That's gonna be really awkward if you're not watching this. Because then I'm just calling out one of my friends and they just don't even get back to me. Yeah, that would be really, really awkward. If she does see this, she'll probably message me on Discord or something like that. I hope so, at least. I eagerly await for the DM. Otherwise, this is going to be a really awkward part of the video. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna see you guys in another video, probably in the next month or so, I'd say. And just take care of yourselves. I love you guys a lot. Be safe out there. Bye.